Coach Tim out on the steps early Saturday morning. We're having the longest running military parade in the U.S. Today here in Torrance. They're staging it, getting it ready, and it's the largest or longest one since on this side of the Mississippi. So it's kind of a cool deal. It's where the community comes out, gets to share. I have personal friends that husbands who have since passed that are up on the flag poles. They have banners, and I'm gonna do some archiving of it today. We have people coming over. We're gonna be at the parade. Well, what I wanted to talk to you today about was, back on that thing I've been on a lot lately is story, and understanding why story matters. Not just understanding stories are cool, but why do stories matter? Why does Star Wars, a movie from the 1970s, why is it a gift that just keeps on giving? Right? Show a kid DC Comics, and it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's powerful today as it was in the 50s or 60s when it came out. Why? Well, it's because the way we're wired. The words that you're hearing right now, here's the meridians. Okay, real quick, just to pattern interrupt this. That I just talked with this guy's moving these to the end of the block, and what they're doing is they used to just have poles, plastic poles, and the problem is in this area we get if you're not home in a certain area, you can't use these streets. And I've been blocked out from getting to my own place before because I was picking up groceries or whatever. And so I remember at one point, I just literally at this corner, I had my kid jump out with me. We moved it over. I pulled around the block to the other side and I put it back. Well, I just told these guys that were setting up a little bit ago, I guess I can't do that anymore. And they go, well, it's also for people running through it. He goes, you ain't gonna run a car through this. And I'm like, that's a thing. That's literally a thing nowadays, right? And that you have to be careful about. So pretty powerful. And they had to get dollies to move those gigantic things. So story. So why I'm talking about this is I had a pretty interesting dreams last night, and I always love when I can pay attention to my dreams as they're happening. And man, they were crazy, and just like from one to the other, nothing made sense. Some of it was disturbing, and normally when I find that I'm getting something disturbing, some call it a nightmare, you wake up, right? And that'll end that stuff. But no, I'm like, just play the movie. It's all good. And so at worst, you think about, what does all that mean? What does it mean? Right? Do dreams have meanings? Well, minimally, can we think about dreams being manifestations of the stuff going on inside your brain? If you think of your brain and your mind as maybe a computer, maybe all it is just bits of data just trying to wash itself out, kind of rebooting, right? So maybe that's the worst that it is. That's all it means. It's just cleaning up. Or maybe it's something else where we take in data that from the day, and we try to process it, and this is the way we're processing it, but it's not the way like the awakened us thinks. The way we typically will think, like if you think of right now, right, you're processing this message. Hopefully you're still with me. And we process the information, and this is visual, this is auditory. So you're processing it through your ears and your eyes, and these are symbols, these are representations of the words that I'm trying to get through to you, right? Well, what are words? Words are symbols. So how's that work? Well, a symbol is, so Liam, a symbol is and a word is a symbol made up by letters, which are symbols. And so the way they're processed in our heads is through symbols, and that's why a lot of times the stuff don't make sense. It don't make sense because they're just about a bunch of symbols trying to make sense of the gobbledygook that you're looking at right now. And this visual is not what is actually happening, right? And through the filter that you have as a brain, stories get processed in that manner. And so literally it's the way we're wired, and that's why I keep trying to say is why we need to understand how it works within our heads. Because if you do, then you start to realize that maybe those data bits in that set of dreams I had last night aren't actual gunk. They're actual meanings. Morning. All right, the double walk.
That's right.
Nice. Hi. It's a father in my neighborhood walking his young kids. So we, if you think of the brain, and Robert Zentas is the one who got me to think of this, as of ones and zeros on a computer, like on the Matrix, and those represent stories, and those stories are represented through symbols, not necessarily the way that we would typically in our day-to-day interactions, but through the brain computer that we have. And so those abstractions to us awakened are actually like kind of short code for, if you've ever done WordPress and you've used shortcode, you know what I mean? It represents a whole ton of stuff. And so what we need to do is be able to translate this way of thinking, because it is the way we think, into our stories. So anyway, I hope that was useful for you.